The real WWE took place in bars and National Guard armories in the greater Tulsa, Oklahoma area in the early to mid 1990s, with a primary focus on the word mid. Hey there, sports fan. Setting the pace for the evening, the voice of the World Wrestling Empire, The Ledge, starts by referring to himself by the wrong name.
Good evening, I'm Silverado with my co-host.
The Prince of Wrestling, Devlin Blanchard, tries to gift Ledgerado a leather jacket, but...
And I think I'll just stick what I got.
And this lady shows her support by drinking that thing kids do where they put all the sodas together in one cup.
We're in Sapopo, Oklahoma at the National Guard Armory.
But we already have a problem.
Due to controversy surrounding the World Wrestling Empire Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots benefit.
And then there's absolutely no further information about this controversial Toys for Tots promotion. So if you want to go to the show and find out, it's going to be difficult.
The location must remain a secret.
Nonetheless, you can still buy an unwrapped toy and
call the WWE at 918 for the location.
Which is a phone number I've censored, as an online search appears to confirm this is manager and WWE owner Flamin' Raymond's actual phone number. It's a brilliant marketing strategy if you think about it. Well, if you don't think about it. Not only do fans need to buy a ticket, but they have to bring unopened merchandise that they buy with their own money and donate it and solve a quick scavenger hunt just to get to the venue. I don't know why more companies don't try that today.
Why not? Because it's f***ing dumb, that's why.
I want for all you out of shape Okies, listen up and listen up good. Especially you, JT Rock.
Off to a fabulous start as the original Renegade is joined by a human onion loaf haircut named Flamin' Raymond. And Renegade immediately runs out of things to say.
Tell him, Flamboyant.
While Flamin' Raymond shows off the thesaurus he got as an early Christmas present.
All you stupid, inconsiderate imbeciles out there in TV land, well, I want to tell you something. We've got an open contract with anybody in the WWE. We can beat them.
Kabuki! Raymond and Renegade accept JT Rocker's challenge.
JT Rocker has challenged us, and we have accepted the challenge. Bring your manager, Devlin Blanchard.
But then, announcer Devlin Blanchard announces his very public breakup with JT Rocker.
Me and JT Rocker, we just kind of went like this right here. This is the future. This is the pasture.
And so far, we've spent a lot of time talking about a guy who's not even going to be on the episode. So after all that build-up, they just bring out Ragin' Cajun for the first match. And he is immediately tackled from behind by the original Renegade. And this match is underway before it even starts. And I never do this, but let me just go ahead and show you this entire match, uninterrupted, in its entirety.
There's the bell. Renegade with a pin. 1, 2, 3.
And as you can see, everything's falling apart. So they just show Renegade's stats graphic, even though the match is already over, because somebody spent a lot of time on this. Renegade grabs his light heavyweight championship and punches the referee with it. But Ragin' Cajun is back up, knocks down the original Renegade, and shows everyone that there's no way that belt would ever fit around his waist. But then, Flamin' Raymond hits Ragin' Cajun in the lower back with a pickleball racket, which apparently knocks the Cajun out cold. And then Raymond is sure the cameras get an excellent look at how plastic the championship belt is, and you can't teach that kind of awareness and showmanship. Thankfully. Moving right along, and for no particular reason at all, Devlin Blanchard explains a very specific rule here in the WWE.
All championship matches in the World Wrestling Empire are for the belts.
Did somebody suggest that the championship matches shouldn't be for the belts? Kind of feels like the only reason you'd say something that unusual is because maybe something unusual is about to happen. Nonetheless, before we can even speculate, your best friend's stepdad is now home from work, and if you don't walk through the living room fast enough, you're gonna get stuck awkwardly talking to him. Beast is here and is wearing purple that leaves way less to the imagination than I would prefer, but there's a problem with the heavyweight champion, TJ Steele.
TJ Steele has left the dressing rooms and cannot be in the building. He will have a 10 count to appear at the ring. If he doesn't show, he loses his belt tonight to the Beast for a no-show.
So now, this makes more sense.
The only way that it can change hands is in the instance of a disqualification in this particular match.
But only if you don't think about it. It's really what they're banking on here. Ledge introduces the champion knowing he isn't here, and the ref starts a 10 count, which, as they just announced for the first time tonight, will cause the belt to change hands for some reason. And if you're a fan of the show, you'll remember that they did this exact same thing with this exact same champion like 3 episodes ago.
Injuries received by TJ Steele in training this week made it impossible for him to show for this match tonight.
So why not just do it again?
Because it's fucking dumb, that's why.
The difference is this time we have a 9 feet tall Goliath out to explain the issue.
I don't know where he's at, man.
Thanks for being here, Goliath. Nonetheless, the referee has started the 10 count that will effectively strip TJ Steele of the title. It's now up to Goliath to stop this and talk everyone out of it.
No, don't do this. This ain't right.
Yeah, TJ lost the belt.
That's it. Referee Doug McCoy is declaring a winner to this match.
But Goliath is not quite finished weaving together his brilliantly convincing defense.
Look, I'm going to take this to the WWE board. Beast, you don't have a right to that belt. You don't have a right to the belt. I don't want to hear nothing out of you either. You don't have a right to the belt no matter where he's at. If I could, I would defend it myself. Let me defend it. Let me defend it. Come on.
Sensing he may be losing the argument, Goliath finally makes one last appeal, this time to the audience.
Do y'all want me to defend the belt or not?
Appeal denied.
We're going to take a short break for a commercial.
This is our 3rd commercial break with only 2 matches with a combined match length of about 4 seconds. I can get very used to this. As we come back from the commercial, the original Renegade is immediately punching Ragin' Cajun in the face in front of a generic Gatorade vending machine. I have no idea why this is happening or why these two are even out there, but not only is it never explained, it's not even addressed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, for the past few weeks
Because Ledge wants to give a plaque to Annihilator for winning a tournament that we're going to watch on a future member live stream because it's just not great. So become a member of the channel if you like things that were too awful to be part of the main episodes. Big A doesn't have much to say.
Hey, shut up!
And is likely in a hurry on account of he's about to run out of Thai. And we get yet another commercial break. 25 minutes into this 1-hour broadcast and we have not had any wrestling. It's almost like they read my dream journal. But just when I think that maybe this whole no wrestling on a bad wrestling show might not be so bad, the Texas Outlaws have some bad news.
Bubba, you've done bit the bullet now and done chewed the fat.
No, not that. I mean, that's not the bad. Maybe that's bad news, but I don't fully understand the metaphor blender we've now been tossed into.
And Scott Summers, I got a personal challenge. I'm putting you out of wrestling there, Bubba. Yes, sir.
Still not great, but that's not even the bad news yet.
I'm putting you down on the ground and hard. So you just well get your rocking chair and get your cane, cause you're going out of wrestling and you're going to be hood.
He's going to be the what?
And you're going to be hood.
He's going to be the hut?
And you're going to be hood.
He's going to be Hoyt? Like old-timey, like Three Stooges, I'm gonna Hoyt you.
And you're going to be hood.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development? He's going to be HUD?
And you're going to be hood.
Whatever it is, it hardly matters. Because none of that's the bad news. The bad news is the Texas Outlaws are facing off against the Southern Express, Scott Cyclops Summers, and that no-count McDonald's flag-loving Tennessee Rebel. For the tag titles, for the main event. And that sounds bad enough, right? You sports fan, you have no idea. Because here's the thing. Let me spell it out for you, okay? We are 27 minutes into a 60-minute show, motherfucker. You understand yet? You get it? No? Let me do the math for you then, bud. That means this match has to go at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
In a row?
Yes. I wish there was a way to know that it's the good old days while you're still in them. And while I don't feel emotionally or physically ready for this level of commitment, neither do these guys because they waste the first few minutes just kind of hanging out. Bone Crusher Bobby Burns hangs out outside while regular Dan gets to work. And if this is going to be a 30-minute match, you can bet your paycheck that at least 45 minutes of it is going to be arm stuff. Tennessee Rebel gets busy with it, and regular Dan breaks it up, but Tennessee Rebel immediately reapplies the arm stuff, while an old lady in the crowd is already pissed.
Being able to reach for those ropes.
Just for the record, it is this lady. So regular Dan tries to gator roll, but the arm stuff is nailed in tight. So Mimo on the outside has some advice. At this point, I'll try anything. Regular Dan switches things around and locks Rebel into the older brother Deathlock and floats over beautifully into a full Reynolds. Tennessee Rebel appears to be verbally and physically giving up, but that is not the previously agreed upon and predetermined finish, so legally, wasting his time doesn't count. But regular Dan keeps leg day going, which admittedly is a nice little break from the arm stuff, but you better believe, sports fan, we're nowhere close to done with it yet. What felt like several days later, I made the mistake of checking to see how much time had passed. 6 minutes. A scant 6 minutes. I did the quick math. In my delirium, I figured I had at least 6 months left in this match.
A lot of good moves here by the Texas Outlaws.
I couldn't figure out why Ledge would lie to me like this. I mean, I've spent hours and hours talking with the guy. We've exchanged emails. I gave him my trust.
A lot of good moves here by the Texas Outlaws.
The only thing I could do was figure that there wasn't anyone left to trust anymore. Not even these two fake athletes stumbling down to the mat could cheer me up. For I knew this pin couldn't be the 3 count. Like an inmate serving a life sentence, I began to keep tally for every hour Tennessee Rebel took the heat in this match. Near as I could tell, the days were slipping into weeks. In my delirium, it seemed like Tennessee Rebel had resorted to performing arm stuff to Bone Crusher's legs? A toe lock?
Toe lock. You're such a moron.
Maybe Silverado was right. But wait, Silverado isn't on commentary. This was getting serious. I was hearing voices. After 2.5 years of covering the World Wrestling Empire, I realized I was facing my biggest challenge. I had no choice but to rise to the occasion. Warriors! As Tennessee Rebel enters the 10th minute of taking the heat from the Outlaws, not a joke, 10 minutes. It was becoming clear that if his girdle got much tighter, he'd be in some real trouble. And as if finally realizing he's had free will this entire time, Rebel hits the ropes, ducks the clothesline, and just doesn't participate in whatever spot Bone Crusher Bobby called and leaps in for the tag on Scott Summers. But if Scott Summers thought for even 1 second he'd be able to come in hot and get some shine and get a little offense going, some excitement brewing, he's got a lot to learn about the Texas Outlaws. As Bone Crusher does his best impression of a cinder block, forcing Scott Summers to hardway himself into some arm stuff. And Summers knows he'd like to perform a suplex, but he also has to do it all by himself. He just goes for it. And just when it feels like maybe we have a little momentum, everyone takes a break and the whole match just kind of starts over. But I've learned a lot since we started watching this match about 3 years ago. I've grown. So I realized that we have to stay positive, because it seems like the Outlaws are just starting over the entire heat sequence they did on Tennessee Rebel, but just on Scott Summers now, which is fine. I think it's just fine. I think it's actually, honestly, I think it's a good opportunity to see the same sequence all over again with the exact same heat and the same non-moves and the choking in the corner and the punchy and the distracting the ref. It's a great opportunity for us to grow and expand upon our resumes. But then Scott Summers does this. which we can all recognize as what anyone would do if they just suffered through 15 to 16 days of bad match, and it's time for some revenge. Summers shoots off regular Dan and then heads the other way, crisscross running. That'll teach him, and Summers is clearly setting up for nothing. He does nothing. He just stands there like after Bugs Bunny pulls a prank on Elmer Fudd and just acts like he did something interesting. I don't know if this is funny, but I just want to see my family. But then the unthinkable happens. Tennessee Rebel gets back in. Well, not that, but that is unthinkable. The Outlaws take over again and start running more heat on the Tennessee Rebel. It has been 20 minutes. Just on and on and on. And we're way past arm stuff here, sports fan. We're in the deep end now. Uncharted territory as these guys are just lumbering around and choking each other. And I just realized that we can all blame TJ Steele for not showing up and forcing them to make these guys go 30 minutes. But finally, the walking mistake, Tennessee Rebel finally makes one and sends Bone Crusher into his own partner, Scott Summers. This leads to an inexplicable moment where the ref holds Rebel back while the Outlaws do an absolutely terrible spike pile driver. And then after that, Tennessee Rebel just stands there while the Outlaws get the pin, retaining their fake championship commemorative plates, which we can clearly see appear to be taped onto a couple of weight belts. And we did it. So I guess this is as good of a time as any to tell you, sports fan, to break the news that we only have one full original episode of World Wrestling Empire left. So, get sad or happy.
Down where sweet magnolias bloom, I hear my old mammy croon. There she waits to take me by the hand, welcome me home.